So back in town in Braceville, Tennessee, where, Edie and Phil Filia decided to help out with one of the fellow Carnival performers to put out posters and draw people in. Um, Phil, how long do you stay in the bar after you finish off your accomplishment of eating all the eggs?
Well, not wanting to let the enthusiasm die down, I would exit immediately because then people would actually get to know me. Uh,
Fair. And you're like, ugh, people, connections, what? Like, no, that's understandable. And Edie, how many posters have you put up at this point? Like,
Every poster I had is up
ah,
somewhere. Not a single poster is left in my hands by the time that Phil Filia comes back out.
Yeah. And have you gone like? Is it like one full wall of posters on or do you just like go up and down Main Street?
It's just the one street on one side, just posters on every surface that's available.
Yeah, and I think that draws attention. You see people walking by and like looking at the posters and looking at you, and then I believe I sent you with
the contortionist.
Yes, the contortionist. What's her name? Oh, Joyce.
Phyllis, not Joyce.
Yes, Joyce. Yeah, so Joyce is sort of like, talking to people who are coming by because you're busy putting up the posters, whoever have questions. And I think as you put the last poster, that's when Philia started to walk back towards, I guess, the truck. And you see that as you're walking back to the truck after you put up the poster and you see Philia, you also see so you do see a man of the cloth who looks like he's in his late 20s, so pretty young, with these bright blue eyes and it's like dark brown hair that's like really clean cut and put together. And as he sees you walking up Edie and Phil, you're starting to head back. He just looks at the three of y'all because Joyce is starting to join y'all as well, and sort of gives this like charming, bright smile. He's like, "Hello, children. You're new to town here."
Yeah, like we're just coming in, setting up the carnival, and I motion to like all of the posters that are behind me.
And he looks and he sees on the poster. He's like, "Right, I saw y'all drive in earlier today, right past the church. You're actually not too far. And it's good that the town is getting some entertainment with especially with what the children seem to be throwing their minds about." And he sort of points to the other posters that you sort of like laid on top of, because there's like one that sticks out that says like a missing young woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this would probably be hopefully a good way to break them from their fascinations about these other missing people. Definitely a good distraction for sure. And he just has this charismatic, bright smile to him that he's just like looking at both of y'all, and he's like, and I do have a sermon tonight, but I definitely will send people your way just to have some good, wholesome entertainment.
What time does your sermon end?
It ends at 8 p.m. So right around then, I'll send people
well,
your way
won't
to the
you
carnival.
Be coming too?
You know what? I haven't been to a carnival in quite a while, so sure, I'll make my way out there.
I don't know how I feel about this man. He's smiling so much at me. I'm not used to this.
Do you want to do a thing, or you
I'm like, I don't like. There's something like I don't usually get this welcoming of a smile, and the last time it's happened was like, I don't know, a really long time ago. So this feels weird. So I'm looking at, what is it? Keep an eye out for trouble? No.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because it's like, like I want to get a read on this person, essentially.
I think it maybe keep an eye out for trouble, unless there's something that you have for your dog for being dog-faced.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you have beasts within. You said true one of the pack, yeah.
Yeah, I have one of the pack.
Okay.
So let me roll plus roll plus guile, which Oh boy,
I don't know. All that in Guile, right? What happened?
He's the nicest man I've ever seen. I rolled a 4 total.
Oh, well,
no.
Mark XP. And yeah, you're just, you think about this and you're looking out, but and you're studying him and you're just like, you know what? Maybe he's just a genuinely nice man. For one, someone who has goodness in their soul. maybe that's what Edie thinks as she's looking at him.
Yeah. That's great. Can't wait to see you.
Oh, fantastic. And it's great to see that there's more people that come by, and it's always good to meet more children of the Lord. By the way, I'm Father James Merkel, so if you ever have any questions, or do you want to try to catch a sermon before you go off to perform tonight, or you need someone to talk to, I'm always here. And he looks at Edie, and he kind of like looks at her for a second, and then looks at Joyce for maybe a briefer second, and looks at Philia, and just gives another nod and smile. And he's like, I believe I need to get going, but it's good night. Nice to meet you all. And he starts walking past and walking down the road.
Do you trust him, Edie?
Yeah, I mean, look how friendly he was. Do you see how he was smiling at us?
Good point. I think I'm going to follow him. I'm not saying you're a bad judge of who you should be friends with, but I think I'm going to go follow him.
Well, should I come with you? I think I should come with you. I should come with you, definitely.
I mean, if you want.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I of course I do. If you think something's wrong, I'll help. I'll help you figure out what's going on. Nods adamantly. Joyce, get out of town.
What's wrong with Joyce? I like Joyce.
Oh, well, I mean, she's fine. But this could be like our this could be like our mission, right? Like this could be like us finding out what's going on in town, right? You saw the missing posters. I point them out to
Oh, well, that's concerning.
And maybe you think that this guy has something to do with that?
Yeah, that's totally why I'm going. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then let's go.
All right.
But I does Joyce have, like, I turned to Joyce. Joyce, are you coming with us?
Oh, I can stay at the truck if you need me to.
I think I need you to stay at this truck.
Okay. And she just nods and started just sort of just to draw people in and like give them like, an idea of the thing. She'll stand on the bed of the truck and just do like some like contortionist stuff. Just do like, this is what you'll see at the carnival tonight, and you just hear that as you're walking away.
Okay.
So you're off to follow Father Merkel?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And that's where we'll cut the scene as
Okay.
y'all turn and start heading after him. We'll cut back to the carnival grounds to our the three that are left there. I'm gonna say at this point it's probably like mid-afternoon, so carnival's probably like within like 4 to 5 hours when I'll start. So Liliana just finished up her cards, and Thetis and Marquetta are still there, is that right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody's still there. And as y'all are sitting there, and y'all kind of get a good view of the road itself, and you can see cars sort of just like slowing down as they pass by, and obviously, they're trying to just check things out. And of course, cars aren't completely common because it's the 1930s, and everybody walks. You'll see some people walking, past, and some people will stop at the entrance and like they're with a walking partner, and they'll look in, and you can see them like talking to themselves, and some of them are excited, some of them are just shaking their head in disbelief as they keep walking. How do y'all feel being seen in like broad daylight by these passerbyers instead of like in the shadows of the darkness that you prefer?
I don't know what it really looks like, but I have this vision of the three of us sitting there like mean girls at a lunch table, and we're just like glaring at these normies who are walking by.
Like in my head, I have it's that scene from The Craft where they get off the bus and it's like, we are the weirdos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think Liliana reacts because her natural reaction would be to mildly frighten them or say something snippy about them staring, but we need people to come to the carnival so we can survive. So I don't think Liliana really reacts as she goes over this in her head.
Fair. And I think as you are looking and watching and seeing these people go by, there's just at this, it's kind of quiet for a bit, maybe like 20 minutes or so, because I guess you're still finishing up whatever you're doing. And there is one woman who sort of walks by and stops, and she looks like she's in her mid-30s with like this deep red hair that's sort of like flowing wildly in the breeze. And she just sort of stops at the entrance and just stares for a moment. And instead of going down the road, you can actually see her sort of cut into the dead corn husk right by the road entrance.
I wonder where she could be going.
That's a bit odd.
Maybe we should send the child to follow her.
That's probably reckless.
I was just trying to find a use for them.
That's fair. Well, I could send one of the cats. It wouldn't be quite so unseemly for one of them to wander off.
Would be more amusing if she's up to anything untoward.
This is an acceptable idea.
It certainly would be a way to take care of things if she is.
Which cat will you send?
I'll send. Zira's playing for the onlookers, so I'll send Wilhelm.
You said you want to keep an eye out for trouble?
Yes.
Give me a roll plus guile.
That's a 6.
Take that experience.
All right. Gonna get me some experience.
And you try to keep an eye out with him, and like you're trying to tell him like, hey, if you see anything funny, let me know or bring back something. And he's out there maybe for like a good hour or so. And I think as he's coming back and you see him, you see there's something in his mouth.
I'm gonna open his mouth.
And as you open his mouth, it looks like there is an arm that falls out. Someone's right arm from like hand to about elbow. And it's old.
Okay.
It's decayed.
All right. So it does not look like it could belong to the woman we saw.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Beatus claps with delight.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Does he always bring back body parts?
He doesn't not bring back body parts.
Ugh.
But this does not belong to that fire-haired woman we saw. This is far too gone to belong to that woman, which means other things are out there, which could spell trouble for our little operation going on here.
Well, especially if anyone finds out about it. It might distract them from coming to the carnival.
True. But it could also mean that we could get blamed for whatever's going on over there.
And have to leave another town early.
Yep.
Maybe we should try to take care of this ourselves and quietly.
Yeah, that might. We should at the very least find out exactly what's happening if we can't take care of it ourselves. Then we can at least bring it to Mother to decide what needs to be done about it.
Well, do you think this is a job for one of the Johnnies, or will we need to do it ourselves? I think she's looking at Thetis when she says it, because Liliana and Marquetta do not show much respect for each other.
Nope.
But Liliana is addressing the group.
Send a Johnny, and if not the entire Johnny comes back, we know that it's not safe enough for us to go.
This seems like a fair plan.
I can abide by that.
So I think Liliana like gestures to one of the Johnnies to come over to the table.
One of them, I think, was helping put together the Ferris wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them stops what they're doing, tells the others to pick up where he left off, and they come on over.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Johnny. We need your assistance. We think there might be trouble out in the field over there. One of the lions went out and brought back something untasteful. We need you to go out there.
Is the arm still out in the open?
Wilhelm is chewing it. This is dinner now. This is now dinner.
Yes.
Oh, it's decaying. Okay, buddy. They don't care.
Lions don't care.
He's not picky.
And they look at you and nod, and they look down at the lion just going to town on this decomposing arm,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just they have their sight lingers on the cat for a bit, and then sort of looks back up at you and nods. And
Okay.
You notice they don't speak, but you're used to this.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so.
right. Okay. I think Liliana also mentions that they need to come back within the hour. We have other things to do. Please make sure you're back within the hour.
They look at their watch real quick, nods, and then starts going into the cornfields. I think with that, we'll cut over again to the two in town. Question, you two. How close are you following behind Father Merkel?
Edie will take whatever Philphilia's lead is.
So I think Philia would. At one point, they'd probably like try to duck into an alley, maybe,
Okay.
so they could keep an eye on them. But here's the thing: I want to use my ability, and I don't know if that would also entail Edie losing me.
It probably will, depending on how high you roll.
Okay, let's go with it.
Yeah. So you're using Shameless.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one where I can.
We hide in plain sight. Yep.
Yeah.
Roll plus guile.
So it's +1. That's an 8.
8. Okay. When you hide from your betters in plain sight, roll plus guile. On a hit, you remain unnoticed, quietly observing. Ask MC one revealing question about the scene you observe. Pressing any further will reveal your presence. I'm going to say Edie's following with you, and I think as you turn the corner, and then Edie turns in right after you, and as soon as Edie turns into this alley, you're just gone.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is where's he going?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna pause that real quick. Edie, as you turn into the alley, you don't see Philphilia anymore. They just seem to like disappeared.
So yeah, so she stands there and is like searching around and like sniffing, like trying to see if like potentially the scent of Phil is around.
How does Edie describe Phil's scent? This is gonna be I'm very
God.
interested in this.
Well, right now it's pickled eggs, so
fair.
I guess maybe it's probably whatever Phil has been eating at the time of like whenever that she's around them when they're eating. Basically, it's whatever that scent is, because they're never not feeding on something, right? Is that correct?
Sure.
Essentially
yes.
always snacking on something.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's always a rotating a veritable buffet of odors. But yeah, so specifically right now, I'm looking for that pickled egg smell.
Yeah. And you're smelling it, and you do smell it on the air, but it's very faint at this point.
And then I think she turns around back where she came from and like starts like petulantly kicking at the ground. It's like, every time try to help them, and just like is grumbling as she's like walking back out of the alleyway.
Oh, for Edie. So you heading back to the truck then, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna.
God. It's just grumbling the entire time.
Oh. All right. So I'm gonna cut from that to Philphilia. You're so basically you disappear in this alley, but you're able to like catch back up with them. And I'm not gonna one revealing question is I'm gonna let you hold on to that for now because basically they're going into a diner. Once you get back onto the main road, and you're sort of like people are just like looking right past you at this point. No one notices, no one sees. You can see Edie as they are grumbling and walking back to the truck at this point. But yeah, you see that you hear the chimes of the door opening, and you see Father Merkel walk into the like this little small diner. And are you going in, or are you going to stay outside and like sort of like peek in?
I feel like Philly would most likely just gosh, what would I do? Well, knowing my ability, I'd probably walk in and do one of those like sit in the opposite booth kind of thing.
Okay, like the one behind, so you can overhear what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you sit there and you overhear, and as you walked in, you saw that Father Merkel was meeting with a young woman, probably looked like she was 20, dark brown hair, dark brown eyes, tan skin, just sort of chatting, and she looks like she's happy to see him, but there's like some sort of sadness that like lays deep on her. You can see there's a sadness in her soul. But go ahead and ask your question as you're sitting there and just listening.
I want to know what the father's intentions toward her are.
Okay. And as you're listening, and you're sitting there listening, you hear talk about concerns about her parents, her family, her mother specifically, who's starting to go ill because of malnutrition and just things that are happening. And she knows that the things are getting a little bit better, but the situation has really affected her mother, where she's coughing consistently because of the dirt in the air and all that stuff. And she's just trying to find some hope and happiness within that. And you hear that Father Merkel says, well, if you come to the sermon tonight, we can talk afterwards and we can see what we can do to help you with the situation. Maybe we can pray a little harder and do a ritual to help your parents. And ritual, I mean, is like he means it as in like a sort of like a reading more scriptures, and he explains it to her like reading scriptures and like lighting some candles and all that. But what you pick up from that is that he wants to try to get her after sermons at night by herself.
Did I hear her name in this conversation?
Yes, her name is Doris. How long do you stay in the cafe before you feel like it's best to leave?
I would sit there listening to Doris's story, and then probably a minute or two after she leaves.
Okay. Yeah, I think as when she leaves, that's I guess whenever you're starting to be seen again because you're staying like lingering a bit, and the wait staff sort of like eyes you because they know you're an outsider, and you see them starting to whisper among themselves. So maybe that's probably when you leave. Maybe I don't know. Is that when you leave?
Yeah,
Yeah, when you start getting looks. Okay.
before it actually starts to bring true attention toward me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, Father Merkel just stays there and eats his lunch after she gets up and goes. And where do you go after that? Do you follow her? Or do you go back to the truck?
I'd probably follow her for a bit.
Okay. It's actually kind of funny. I shouldn't. She actually is going in the same direction of the truck, like she's walking up Main Street.
Oh no.
So yeah, so you see her turn in that direction, and
Well, I'll follow.
okay. So that means you are being able to be seen now as you exit the diner as the door chimes again, and you're walking back in the direction of the truck. Edie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Edie is sitting in the truck with Joyce at this point in time and has been kind of like I don't know, having a conversation with Joyce about like, Joyce, come on.
Oh, okay, hold on. Wait, where are they?
Just Phil being Phil, I guess, just disappeared on me.
Oh my gosh, they are so good at that. How are they so good at that?
I don't know, but we're going right now. Like I'm tired of this. I try to do my best. I'm trying to help them out, but they never seem to want my help. I'm a great help. Am I not, Joyce?
Joyce nods like fervently. She's like, yeah, you are. You're fantastic. Maybe it's not you. Like, just how Philadelphia is. They're kind of like on their own and they do their own thing, and it's nothing against you. They're just I think that's just how they are.
I don't know. I think I should be able to do something at least a little for them and get some recognition. And anyway, let's just go. They can get their way back. And I think at this point she goes to like reverse or like start the car and like looks up into the rear view mirror, and then we'll see like Phil walking up the main street.
Yeah.
And just close her eyes and then turn the car off.
Oh, okay. So we're not leaving?
Look back there.
Oh, and I think Joyce sort of just like wiggles out and like doesn't even open the door, just sort of like wiggles through the window and like sits like on the in the window and sort of just waves and just like, Phil, we're heading out. Let's go.
Hey, Joyce. Yeah, could you tell Edie I'm gonna try and make a new friend so y'all can head out without me?
Oh, okay. And Joyce just sort of wiggles back into the truck and she's like, well, oh, I guess you heard. Okay. I guess we can go.
Start the car back up and just without even looking in Phil's direction and trying not to make any eye contact whatsoever, just drives off.
Okay.
Go back to the carnival.
All right. And I think that's where we're gonna leave it with you two there. Philly is starting to follow after Doris, and Edie, frustrated, is driving back to the carnival. The camera's gonna open back up, so where the truck is pulling back into the carnival. And I'm gonna say for the people that are there, I think that Johnny's been out for like 30 minutes at this point.
Okay.
So y'all been waiting around for a bit. What have y'all been doing? Anything? Or y'all just sitting and waiting?
I'm brushing Wilhelm's hair now because he's a hot mess.
He
can't perform like this. He can't perform like this.
Yeah, so you're cleaning out his mane from all the ichor. Okay.
While he's having his snack.
I
Fair.
think Liliana is going back and forth since it's still day one and setup is still happening. I think that she's going back and forth between like kind of prepping her tent and herself, but then coming out every, 10 or 15 minutes just to see if there's any new news.
Thetis?
I think I am also brushing my hair, not because it's particularly dirty or anything. It's just kind of an activity that I take a long time doing anyway for entertainment's sake.
Oh yeah, because you have like long hair, don't you?
It's like
Yeah.
down to my waist.
Mm-hmm. And I think as you're doing this, and I think this is where Liliana's coming out to check. So you see her coming out in the tent, and y'all three see the truck pulling back up, and it's Edie and Joyce in there, but Phil isn't with them.
I think Liliana like waves to Edie a little bit.
Yeah, Edie will wave back, but is immediately gonna go try and find Gloria. Basically thinking, like, very determined, like, and like a happy puppy, like kind of bouncing, like proud of themselves, kind of walk about them.
Yeah. So Gloria, I think, is in her carriage,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but the door's open because she wants the fresh air in. So you're able to like see her when you walk the steps and poke your head in.
Yep. And so Edie pokes her head in and says, "Gloria, I'm back. And all the posters have been put up around town."
That's fantastic. Thank you. Hopefully we get a bunch of people coming in tonight. Are you prepared?
I will be getting prepared momentarily, but yes, we are going to have lots of people. There was a very nice man that Phil didn't seem to trust, but I thought he was fine. He said he's going to bring people. So, yay!
That's fantastic. That's good. Thank you. No, that's gonna be really great. And yeah, I should. I think we have a couple more hours before sundown, so you probably should go off and get ready. But thank you again.
You're welcome.
And this is the visage of what Edie sees. So it's that nice motherly, like housewifey sort of look.
Mm-hmm. While we were in town, couldn't help but notice that they seem to have a lot of missing people.
Really now? That's concerning, and definitely we'll have to keep an eye out tonight and make sure that all our Johnnies are just a little more protective than usual. Because I don't want any of my children to go missing. And she just gives you that warm smile and winks, and does that little thing where she's booping you on the nose, but she's too far away, so she does a little
she's mentally booping me.
Mentally booping you. Yes.
Okay.
Air booping you, rather.
And with that, I think Edie will just turn on her heels and walk out, and I think go to I don't know, I think go to her tent to start to get ready. I think
Okay.
just starts to head out to her area.
Yeah, and I think as you pop into your tent, for the rest of y'all, it sort of cuts to seeing Edie disappear into her tent, and then all of a sudden seeing the Johnny stumble back out, and there's like a cold sweat to them. They're pasty. They're like sweaty. You can see that like their nerves are shocked and shook, and their hands are shaking, but they stumble out like kind of like caught off guard that they actually found the exit. They do a quick tumble and they stand up quickly and dust stuff off and looks around real quick and then sees all of y'all and comes back over and just shaking their head.
Well.
And with that, they place on the table something. Their hands, you can see their hands still shaking and like their hands covering it. And then all of a sudden they move their hand away and quickly just walk back to work. And what's left on the table is looks like a silver locket. And then that's just sort of closed with the front little like intricate design on the front of it.
I want to open the locket.
when you open the locket, it has a little inside. It has a little like it looks like a cutout from a Bible or some sort of parchment of a cross within it. So it's like not like a hand drawn like cross. It looks like it's like more like printed. But on the when you open up, that's the right hand side. But on the left hand side, there's engravements of it says Betty in it.
Well, this might need more investigation.
We may have to send a different Johnny.
Do we have a Johnny that speaks?
Maybe one that's braver. That one that doesn't spook so easy.
Yes.
Ooh, maybe one of my the wranglers. One of my wranglers.
Okay.
He did come back in one piece.
That's true.
This is a
That's
good sign.
positive.
Mhm.
That's positive.
While you guys are all like discussing and looking at that locket and trying to figure out stuff, like, oh, pick a Johnny. Edie just shows up in a new dress that she was wearing for not the same one from earlier, and it was, hey everybody, what's going on?
Hello, Edie.
Marquetta just stares at you.
Oh yeah, I realize Marquetta's there and immediately like looks away. Just, what's up? What's new? I just got done putting up the posters in town.
How good for you. It's important to stay busy.
Yep, idle hands, devil's playground, all that.
Did you find anything interesting in town? Is anyone excited about the carnival?
Well, yes, we got several people who are interested. Joyce did some shows. I think Phil was doing Phil. Who knows? But yeah, we met a guy named Father something. I can't remember. And he said that he would have people come from his church. Isn't that wonderful?
Nope.
As long as they're willing to pay, I suppose.
Is this arm just on a table somewhere in this?
Oh, the lion's chewing it, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
In a couple hours, I'm pretty sure it's been eaten by now.
Oh, that's true. There might be some bones left.
I think at this point, Marquetta like takes the bone out of Wilhelm's mouth and just puts it on the table next to the locket.
He just grabs the locket and puts it on.
So, whose bones are these?
That is the question of the day.
Where did you get?
Well, from that field over there, we saw someone go into the field. They have not come out. Marquetta sent one of her cats in after it, and they brought back this arm. And then we sent in a Johnny, and they brought back the locket. But we didn't pick a Johnny that speaks, and so we
It's
don't know what
shiny,
they
isn't
saw.
It's
It is shiny. Theta.
beautiful.
It looks lovely on you.
Yes, exactly what I was going to say.
What was on the interior of the locket?
It's a cross and it says Betty.
This is a missing person.
It's mine now.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
you could have the locket.
Yes, Thetis. I'm not sure the state we're going to find this person in, but I imagine that the locket is the least of their concerns.
Well, somebody needs to go back out into the field.
I mean, I could probably go do that. Is that what we're needing right now? Is that what you guys need?
I'll go.
Well, I will also go.
Fine.
Do you want to go too, Thetis? I can push you.
If someone wants to push me.
I'll do it. Not a problem.
Also, where's Philphilia?
Oh, yes. Where are they?
And then like Edie's face just like goes like no longer happy, kind of stoic, and just like they just took off, said they were gonna make a new friend.
Oh. Okay, so long as they're not lost, all right, and we don't find them in this field, then we'll be all right.
All right.
Because we know that this is something that Phil does from time to
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, so like this is not like we're not phased by this. We just want to make sure we know whereabouts Philphilia is.
I think Liliana is going to go over and tell one of the Johnnies that we have some business to take care of, and that we should be expected back in an hour, just in case.
Yeah, this Johnny just sort of looks at their watch and looks up at the sun real quick just to see where it is in the sky and just gives a nod.
Okay.
Marquetta goes and tells the chef, because we're right by the food truck,
Mhm.
Yeah, you're
the
right by the fridge.
same type of information.
Yeah, the chef sort of just like looks at the sun, wipes the sweat off the brow, and just sort of like, "All right, see you when you get back."
Right, can you have a sandwich ready for me?
Of course,
Thanks.
your favorite, as always.
Ah, you're the best. And she winks at him.
Because you got little finger guns and
Yep.
Marquette, are you bringing any of the cats with you, or
No, not this time.
okay? So they're free-range cats, just roaming around the carnival without their master in sight. Okay, no big deal. Just wanted to double check.
Just chewing on arm bones. It's fine.
just
It's fine.
chewing on the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so all four of y'all disappear into the cornfields, and that's where we're gonna cut back to Ophelia.
Making friends.
Yeah. So you're following someone else now.
How far away are they from me?
I want to say they're probably like 20 feet ahead of you, so not too far. They stopped and like looked at windows and shops, so you were able to catch up a bit.
Sure. I guess I'd run up, or not run, and just try to catch up to them. And once I get to them, I'd be like, "Hi, excuse me. Sorry, I don't mean to impose, but I just happened to be in the diner back there, and I overheard you."
I think Doris sort of stops and is a little like, taken aback because she hasn't seen you before, so she's like, "Oh, new person," and like stops and she's like, being civil and kind and sort of gives you a soft smile. She's like, "Oh, you heard all that."
Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. It's just it's a bad habit of mine.
Sometimes in crowded spaces, it's hard not to. I understand.
Yeah, I'm used to coming to small towns like this. Where people usually recognize that I'm not from it, so I tend to stand out a bit. So it gets kind of, you always got to be wary of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. Well, what brings you to town?
Maybe I bring out like one of the crumpled posters that I had, and I was like, it was actually we're having a carnival tonight.
Oh, I
was
do love
wondering-
carnivals. Do y'all have the what do they call it, the cotton candy?
Oh, of course.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It's not much consolation. But I just happened to come upon some extra funds today. Perchance, would you like to get something to eat? I know you have an ailing mother, and if I wouldn't mind helping out.
Oh,
Considering we're having the carnival today, I know I'll have more funds coming in.
oh well, that's awfully sweet of you, but I do need to get back to work. I did have lunch earlier at the diner, and
Okay.
I was just heading back to work. But I really appreciate you. I'm definitely interested in coming by tonight, though.
Yeah. If there's anything I can do to help, just I know I'm just some stranger, but
Oh well, that's mighty kind of you, but I don't know how much it can help a sick mother. But yeah, it's great to hear that there's good people in the world like you.
Sometimes they say that sometimes the best medicine is just going out and putting a smile on your face. So maybe if y'all could come out later tonight, it might help.
I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to get my mother out here, but I can definitely try to see if she's up for it.
I mean, if you need help, I'm sure I could arrange something.
Oh, that's mighty sweet of you. So I'm definitely intrigued, but also if she's not feeling it, then I don't want to push her.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Okay, well, hopefully I'll see you tonight.
Yeah. What was your name? I'm sorry, I don't think I caught it.
Some call me Phil. Some call me Philia.
Oh, I like the duality of that. That's nice. I'm Doris. I don't know if you caught that from overhearing earlier or not.
Oh no, I didn't. It's nice to meet you, Doris.
It's nice to meet you too, Phil. And she sort of gives a smile and then like a small little wave and just keeps on walking.
I'll just wave back and start heading in the opposite direction till I know she's not looking. Then I guess I have to roll to follow.
Yes, you do have to roll to follow.
No. Mm-mm.
What'd you get?
That's a 5.
Oh, well, mark experience. Yeah, I think you see her starting to go down this back road, and then you see her starting to go into, I guess, a cleaners, like a little like a washateria, not a washateria, but people people bring their clothes like be pressed and steamed, so maybe it's the cleaners I'm thinking of, and she's going through a back entrance because employees only and all that stuff, and you're like, okay, cool, I'll go in too, and then I think as you're opening up the door, you just hear this girl, hey, who are you? Just sort of like bark at you from down the alley.
I just book it.
Yeah, so we'll cut away from you just running off. All right. Cornfield crew. Are y'all just choosing the direction to go, or how are y'all deciding which way to navigate in this thing?
I mean, we had a Johnny who came back out of the field. Are there like a broken path that they came from?
Mm-hmm.
There's also a broken path from the cat as well, because a big old kitty decided to run through here as well. There's like 2 different paths. There's like one that's like more wider because of the cat, and you can tell it's the cat's because there's some like areas where you can see the big paw prints and stuff going through the dirt, and then you see a more narrow path where the Johnny went.
Are they going in 2 different directions?
At first it looks like they're the same direction, and then like you see the Johnny sort of step off and go off into another area. So,
Well, do we split up or do we choose a path?
Well, if the lion rolls her eyes, what came back with a body part, maybe there's more body parts where the lion came from.
I'm fine following the lion's path.
Same.
Thetis?
But the Johnny had treasure.
True.
But we could follow the lion's path.
Lion's path it is.
all right, so y'all follow the lion's path, which it does look like it's going a certain way, and it's sort of not a direct path. It's sort of like sway. You can see where it like sort of like wanders and moves about, and some areas where it's like more crunched than others, because you can see like the cat probably stopped and sniffed a thing or like went off a little bit. But it takes y'all about 20-ish minutes to get to deeper into the cornfields. Like just out of nowhere, instead of these dead husks that are sort of just standing on their last legs, you run into like a wall of green vegetation.
That was unexpected.
Weird.
Well, I think we should continue, but we might want to bring some corn back with us, depending on what we find.
Arquetta definitely takes some corn and puts them in Thetis's wheelbarrow.
Thetis, how you feel about corn being in your wheelbarrow?
You're marinating in corn.
And corn, your corn soup now, Thetis.
Corn.
I'm a chowder.
You are your Tennessee chowder.
You're a chowder.
It's all right, but don't piss me off. I will throw corn at you.
Like
Yeah,
you're
now
about to
you
say
have
something
projectiles.
grosser.
Perfect.
You have given me weapons. This
That's
is your
true.
own fault.
The ground here is soft. you can feel like the dirt like underneath you. It's not that hard, rocky dirt. It's actually like supple soil. Like it's Edie's kind of harder to actually do the wheelbarrow through here just because the ground is a little bit softer. But you just notice it as you're wheeling on. All the corn is sort of it's lush. There's even like some and it's like just like a wall of corn, and then so you probably go like 10 more feet, and then it's like maybe, I'm trying to think of the words, like other various vegetations within, like squashes and pumpkin patches that are just all full of life and starting to bring up peas. Like there's like pea shoot areas and tomatoes, and
We will need to send a few of the Johnnies back later.
Yeah, this could work out really well for us.
Mm-hmm.
This is where a dead body was?
Well, maybe. I haven't seen any sign of that yet.
I mean, I can understand from a fertilizer standpoint.
We can't be too picky about where we get our food these days.
Nope.
Have we really reached the end of the path, though? How much farther do the tracks go?
I think actually right when you get into the middle, that's where the tracks stop.
That's where they stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything more there in the middle?
Does someone want to give me a roll?
Yeah, I was looking at what is it? Keeping out for trouble?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, 11.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you get to ask, you have on a hit, take 1 forward on the answers you found, and then 10 plus, you ask 2 questions.
I mean, I want to look for any indication of either the missing girl, but extra body part, anything about that's out of place.
All right. So basically, you're asking what dark truth is in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as you're looking around and like, overwhelmed by the vibrance and like the fruit and stuff and the food,
Mm-hmm.
you look more to the dirt, and as you're looking at the dirt, something catches your eye, and you sort of do you bend down to like look closer, or?
I think I nudge it with my foot.
Okay, you nudge it with your foot. I'm gonna say as you nudge it with your foot, it's soft, and then like as you nudge it, it sort of like rolls over, and it is also a foot. That's maybe about as decayed as the arm that was there.
Does it have a shoe on it?
No, just barefoot.
Well, I think we're on the right path.
Well, we found where the arm came from.
What we really need is a face.
Do we?
I don't
really
think
need a
this
face?
has a face.
I mean, when we look, I'll go over it. I'll gingerly place Thetis barrel down, and I will go over to where the foot is at. You didn't completely unearth it, did you? Or you just like nudged it?
I just nudged it.
So so basically you're able to pull it out, and you just see it's a full foot that's been decaying for a bit, and then like maybe like halfway down the leg itself, that's where it stops.
Okay.
Is it a clean cut?
Because it's decayed, it could have been a clean cut.
Okay.
Like looking at the bone, if you're actually examining it, it does look pretty clean because it looks like it's cut through, but it's pretty decayed at this point, so it's hard to see like what kind of thing was used. But yeah, it does look like it was severed.
Okay.
I will say Thetis isn't really paying attention to this part. She's just kind of luxuriating in the sun. Just like flipped her hair back and was like laying back in the wheelbarrow.
With the corn floating around.
And her shiny new locket.
Yep.
I love it.
I was gonna say, so we found an arm and we found a leg. Where's the rest? Should I go ahead and scout around and look for more?
Does it matter at this point? There's a dead body here.
Yeah, but how many?
Again, does it matter?
Only if it takes attention away from the carnival.
The child said Betty only went missing this morning or yesterday morning or something like that. Not long enough to be this gross.
Maybe we should go back and investigate the Johnny path as opposed to the lion path.
That's probably a good idea. That seems to be the direction where the redheaded woman went earlier as well.
So you head back to the back down the path, back into the destroyed dead crops, back to where the intersection was, where the fork, and y'all turn to go down the other side now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you go down that way. It's probably like another 10 minutes or so. Whenever you stumble across, it looks like an empty field. Right now, it's just all of a sudden you're in these dead crops of corn, and all of a sudden it's like a perfect 30-foot diameter circle, just completely empty. A perfect circle, if you will. And it's the ground here looks like it looks like it's been tilled recently. It looks fresh, and there are you see a little bit of sprouts sort of like starting to come up.
I mean, the first thing I want to do is obviously, look around for anything obvious. So like just a full person, right? Like if like either the sister or the redheaded woman, if they're just laying there. And if I would imagine any one of us would see that if that were the case. Otherwise I just want to walk around.
You're not walking in, you're walking around?
No, I want to walk in and then walk around the inside if I don't see anything obvious. Does that make sense?
As soon as you put your foot in, it sinks, like it did, like with the other soil.
Oh.
Like, like how it's softer.
Gotcha.
But you do see as you step in, this like red liquid just starts seeping out of the ground and like sort of like coats your boot.